I want to quickly talk to you about a 40,000 massive loan from Marcus by Goldman Sachs. No fees, very easy application, low FICO OK, and you get a soft pull. Don't go anywhere. You're going to love today's conversation. I guarantee it. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Sweetie Kiwi Show. How are you today? I hope you're all doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous, if you were to ask me. If you are doing as splendid and blessed as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka and let's roll. In today's convo, I want to speak to you about a massive personal loan from Marcus by Goldman Sachs. And we have no fees, very easy application, low FICO is okay, soft pull is also possible. And the maximum loan amount is $40,000. Folks, this video is purely educational, purely instructional. We have no association, no relationship with the Marcus by Goldman Sachs. They have not paid us to do this video. We are just sharing information, okay? And let's talk about the loan facts. First of all, when you speak about this loan, you are talking about an unsecured loan. It could be a co-sign loan. It could also be a debt consolidation loan, okay? The amount will oscillate between $3,500 and $40,000. The APR will fluctuate from 6.99% to 19.99% depending on your credit score. And there are no fees, term up to 7 years, time to funding 48 hours. There are no extra conditions, and the credit score, the minimum is 530. Now, this might sound surprising to a lot of people, but we did confirm this. Basically, people think when you go to big banks like Marcus by Goldman or other banks, you got to have a high credit score. No, it's all about how you structure the application. So for Marcus by Goldman, the minimum credit score is 530, okay? And we love the fact that with Marcus by Goldman, you can actually pay down higher interest debt, you can consolidate, you can have a debt consolidation loan, or you can get the loan for a major purchase or for whatever you want. Now, here is a big decision time for you. Let me ask you a question. Are you interested in getting a loan from a Marcus by Goldman? If yes, have you done your homework? Do you have your paperwork ready? Do you have your pay stubs? Do you have your W-2s? Do you have your personal tax returns? Do you have your business tax returns, if applicable? If you have a side gig, do you have your 1065, your 1120, or your 1040 Schedule C? Do you have all those? If you do, guess what? I have great news for you because you're going to get the loan real fast. Here is how it works. With Marcus by Goldman, they want you to tell them about yourself, so they will customize your personal loan options based on your input. Then you will choose your personal loan. In other words, they will give you a lot of options so you can explore your personal loan options and pick the one that suits your budget and time frame. And then you complete your application. You add a few details, just to kind of verify your information, and you finalize your personal loan application. That's it. Voila. That's it. Very simple. Let me now talk to you about this lender. Who is Marcus by Goldman? Folks, in this show, I am speaking to you about a huge personal loan from Marcus by Goldman. We are talking about maximum loan amount of $40,000, no fees, very easy application, low FICO is okay, 530 minimum FICO accepted. There is a soft pull. Fantastic. Who is Marcus? Now, those of us who were actually at work at Goldman Sachs back in the days as investment bankers, that's a way long time ago. But it's kind of surprising because Marcus they were not in retail banking before, not Marcus, but Goldman Sachs. Now, Goldman Sachs is now in retail banking, and Marcus by Goldman is really an online bank. They have no brick and mortar branches. They're probably thinking about it, but right now they don't have it. So everything happens on the internet, okay? But don't worry, because you can benefit from the breadth and depth of expertise of a financial colossus such as Goldman Sachs. That's for sure. I mean, they know what they're working on. I mean, I've been there, done that, so I know how they think. It's fantastic. What are the pros and cons of Marcus by Goldman? You have savings and CD rates that are competitive. They offer above average interest rates across all products, and you do have access to a 24/7 automated customer service line. This is pretty good. You have same day transfers up to $100,000 if that's what you want. The only drawbacks, in our view, is that Marcus has no checking accounts or ATM network. Like I said, they are purely an online bank. You need an external account for transferring money. They have a limited selection of products available right now. They don't offer debit or ATM cards, which makes deposit hard to access. And mobile check deposit is not available, meaning all deposits must be made via electronic transfer and or automated deposits. What I'm trying to tell you here is if you get this loan, the 40 grand loan, you're going to have to do everything online. Don't expect them you're not walking to a branch. No, you just have to do everything online. Okay. But it's kind of cool because they do have other services. Okay. As a matter of fact, you can track your personal loans progress in the Marcus app. And this is great. You can view your remaining principal balance on your loan. You can make a one-time payment, view recent payments, and enroll in autopay. So the Marcus app is kind of cool. So after evaluating, this lender on tens of criteria, including loan variety, loan amount generosity, the cost, the reputation, the customer service. What is our score? 8/10. I want to talk to you now about eligibility criteria, folks. For those who are just joining us, let me just contextualize things here. We are speaking about a massive personal loan from Marcus by Goldman, $40,000, no fees, very easy application, low FICO is welcome, soft pull is possible, okay? And we have here the criteria. So the credit score, you got to have at least 530. They accept applications from consumers over 18, and the age is 19 in Alabama, 21 in Mississippi and Puerto Rico. You got to have a valid U.S. bank account and Social Security or an individual tax ID number. Okay, so this is important to think about. And one thing I also want to say here is that you obviously what Marcus by Goldman has said is that borrowers with very good or excellent credit score typically get lower rates and larger loan amounts. That makes sense. Okay, so even though the maximum loan amount is $40,000, you might not get the $40,000 if you have a bad credit. You probably get 10,000 or 12,000, maybe 15,000, and you might get a high APR because the APR bracket is, as I said earlier, it goes from 6.99% to 19.99%. You might get the 19.99%. But hey, listen, money is money, moolah is moolah, right? If you need the cash for something and you get it now, that's fine. And you also want to pay attention to another eligibility criterion that Marcus by Goldman pays attention to is your what they call your debt to income ratio. In other words, how much you're making versus how much you're spending to repay debt. So let's say you're making, hypothetically, you're making $100,000 a year. Oh, I wish I could make that much money. You're making 100 grand, right? And you're paying 40,000 worth of debts like credit cards, car payments, mortgage, that kind of stuff. So in that scenario, your debt to income ratio, your DTI is 40%. You get that? 40 divided by 100, that's 0.4. That's 40%. They also pay attention to your long-term credit history. Okay, they want to see how long you have had credits and how you have used credit in the past. And one thing I want to say is that bankruptcy will not disqualify you with Marcus by Goldman. They take a holistic view. They look at all factors before making a decision. Okay, so think about your credit score, your payment history, your income. Income is very important. Income is quintessential. Even if you have a bad credit, even if your FICO score is skinny, make sure that your bank account is fat. Make sure that your employment prospects are rosy. Make sure that you don't have a languid balance sheet. No, you want to have a vibrant balance sheet. Okay, so that you can counterbalance the whole thing about having a bad credit score. Let me talk to you now about number 3, the use of loan proceeds. Folks, I am talking to you in this show about a large personal loan from Marcus by Goldman Sachs. We are talking about a maximum loan amount of $40,000. There are no fees attached. There is a very easy application. Low FICO is okay, and soft pull is possible, and use of loan proceeds. And the thing here is that personal loans, whether you get it from Marcus by Goldman or other lenders, you can use those loans for large purchases, debt consolidation, emergency expenses, and much more, right? And you have to pay with Marcus. You have to pay back in monthly installments. So with the Marcus, there are 9 ways you can take the money. There are 9 things you can do with the money you get from Marcus by Goldman, not just Marcus. So you have debt consolidation. You can use the Marcus loan as an alternative to a payday loan, right? So if you need the cash fast, and remember the minimum amount is $3,500. So if you need some cash fast, and you do have an account with, I was speaking about that later on. If you have an account with Marcus by Goldman, then you could just maybe borrow $3,500 from them. That's kind of cool. You can use the money for a home remodeling. You can use the money for moving costs, right? Let's say you got a job, you live in New York, and you get a job in Detroit. Well, you got to move, and your company is not you get the job in Detroit, and your company is not paying for a relocation. Then you can get a loan from Marcus to take care of that. You can take care of emergency expenses through your Marcus loan. This is kind of cool also. You can buy appliances. I mean, I'm speaking major appliances, not like a $200 purchase or whatever, right? You can use the money for vehicle financing. If you cannot get a loan that you want at a good rate, like a car loan at a good rate, you want to get a loan through Marcus, it's just totally up to you. You can use the cash also to finance an upcoming wedding, for example, wedding expenses, or take care of vacation. I mean, again, you make a decision. Just make sure that when they ask you on the application form, you are truthful. Don't try to play around with the truth. Don't try to bend the truth. No, tell them exactly what you're going to use the money for. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another section of the Awesome Studio Kiwi Show. I am still talking to you today about a massive personal loan from Marcus by Goldman. Maximum loan amount $40,000. And this is a loan that welcomes all kinds of credit profiles. Minimum credit score 530. And if you have bad credit, fair credit, there's not a problem. And what is the evidence you need to provide to make sure that Marcus accepts you? Now, it really depends, but overall, the standard documents revolve around a few things. First of all, you need the loan application form. With Marcus, you're going to have to go through an online process. I'll show this to you in the next section. But what they will do is they will do a soft pull. So they're not going to check. They're not doing a hard pull, of course. So you're not risking a loss on your credit score. What will happen here is that they will ask you preliminary information. They'll make you an offer, and once you agree, they will send you I would say a 2 or 3 pages long application. Make sure that you are truthful on the application. So they will ask you, what are you applying for this loan? Why are you applying for this loan? How you will use the money? How would the loan proceeds be used? What assets you need to purchase with the loan, if any? What other personal debts you have, and who are your creditors, right? They will also ask you if this is a joint loan application or whether or not you are co-borrowing or co-signing. So it's really, really up to you to give them the right answer, and you should. Let me give you an important decision time here. There's something you need to decide here. Do you think a resume will make a difference on a Marcus by Goldman Sachs loan application? Think about it. Talk to me. What do you think? Does it or does it not? Well, guess what? It depends. There are cases where a resume can actually make a difference. In other words, let's say that you're making good money. You have bad credit, you have fair credit, but you have a stable employment, you have a stable position, a good job, making good money, and you want to show Marcus that, hey, listen, I think my resume is positive, and I believe I have a rosier future here. My past was shaky. My past was checkered in terms of creditworthiness, but now I'm cool. So in this case, you can also send it to them. but make sure that you call a Marcus by Goldman representative first. You can also attach your income tax returns for the last 3 years. They might ask for it. They might ask for your financial statements and your bank statements, right? They might ask for your balance sheet, your income statements, and your cash flow statements. Step number 5, folks. How do you apply for this loan? Again, folks, I am speaking to you about a massive personal loan from Marcus by Goldman Sachs. We are talking maximum loan amount of $40,000. This loan accepts soft pull. I mean, it has a soft pull. Low FICO is okay. Very easy application. No fees. Okay. And so number 5, I want you to look right now on the screen. So you can receive an invitation and an invitation code from Marcus by Goldman Sachs, or you can actually apply via their website. So to apply, I want you to go back to the home page and you want to click on review your options. And so once you do that, you will see, as you can see on the screen, you have to indicate how much you want to borrow. In our case, we indicated $35,000. And you also have to put what kind of monthly payments you can afford. So you put $500 in our case, and you have to put the reason for the loan. We put major purchase. Next screenshot, they want you to tell them about yourself. So you put your name, your first and last name, your date of birth. You have to put your email, your total annual income. That's gross though. That's before taxes. You need to put your housing payments, and you have to actually say how you're making your money, right? And you hear the good thing we love about the Marcus by Goldman Sachs is that you can select up to 3 sources of income. So here we put salaried, independent contractor, and investment income. And then you put your address and your city, and you put the zip code and all that kind of stuff. So once you're done, you have to click on Find My Loan Options. So you can see that here you did not put any social security number, right? So they will do a soft pull first. So click Find My Loan Options. So the system is searching. So searching for loans. And then here, they're asking you that they also need your social security number or ITIN to determine your loan options, right? So you just have to input your social security number and click Find My Loan Options. And then basically, you can see here that the next screen we received an adverse decision. So they said here, unfortunately, we were not able to offer you a loan today, but this kind of makes sense, folks, right? If you go back to the previous screen, you will see that we put, in terms of social, we put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? Nobody has that kind of social security number. So we actually input like fictitious data because we just don't want to risk hard pulls on our personal credit histories, right? But my point here is that usually if you put in the right info, they will give you 3 to 5 loan offers. So when you click on see my options or find my loan options, you should have 3 to 5 loan offers from Marcus. And you can see on the screen, we're actually showing you how this loan offers will look like. You can see on the screen here. So it will look something like this. So you have the loan amount, the APR, and the term. And you will see next to each offer the sign apply now. So you just have to see the one that works for you in terms of APR, term, and loan amount, what combo works for you. And you click apply now, and that's it. Again, I just want to say that this is made for illustrative purposes, okay? So this is not an actual loan offer list from Marcus by Goldman Sachs. We're just recreating what it will look like. All right. Let me give you a few pro tips, folks. If your goal is to actually successfully apply for this massive personal loan from Marcus by Goldman Sachs, $40,000 amount, maximum loan limit. There are no fees, very easy application, low FICO, soft pull OK. If you want to actually succeed, gather your documents. You want to have all your personal tax returns, your personal bank statements, your personal financial statements. I mean, your balance sheet, your income statements, your statement of cash flows. Normally, if you do things right, your income statement should be closer to your budget, right? Your expenses and revenues every month. Okay. You also want to understand that at the end of the day, it's all about being prepared. But most importantly, every lender is different. If you don't qualify for a Marcus by Goldman Sachs loan, you can actually go elsewhere. Remember that it's all about also demonstrating sufficient cash flow. You need to show Marcus that you have enough cash coming in every month to repay the loan. Okay. And you need to understand that every lender is different. And also make sure that you compare lenders. Here is another big decision time for you. How many lenders do you know compete with Marcus? Because to compare, you have to know first. Do you know any lender in that space in terms of online lending? Of course, you have Avant, you have Lending Tree, you have Lending Club. Okay, so please don't feel like if you don't have a loan with the Marcus by Goldman Sachs, you are toast. No, you have options. Okay, and sometimes they might actually Marcus might deny you if you have, let's say, you don't have the kind of credit profile they're looking for, because even though they put minimum credit 530 or 535, they will look at every decision. At least their algorithm will look at every situation, and they'll make a decision based on other factors. Because someone who has a FICO score of 550 and has $50,000 in a bank account versus somebody who has the same FICO score but has $1,000 in the bank account, you bet that the treatment will be different. That's just how things are, right? So it's not about hitting the players, it's about hitting the game. It's just the way the game is played. So if someone has a fat checking account, that person will be considered quote unquote higher than, more highly, if you will, because the checking account is fat, versus someone who has a skinny FICO and a skinny checking account. All right, folks, this was it for today's conversation. I was talking to you about a very massive $40,000 loan from Marcus by Goldman Sachs, a loan that has no fees, that has a very easy application, low FICO and soft pull OK. And I gave you an overview. I spoke about the loan facts, the lender at a glance, eligibility criteria, use of loan proceeds, the evidence needed, how to apply, and some pro tips. Thank you so much for your attention. I'll speak to you another time, but until then, remember, stay marvelous.